There is a great site we have found for golfers called pinsandaces.com. Pins and Aces is a Colorado-based golf brand making premium polos, head covers, and gear that perform on the course and stand out everywhere else. Made in the USA with quality you can feel. Go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 21% off using code GANG. Or go to pinsandaces.com.
News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT proudly presents America's Coolest Conservative. Well, proudly could be stretching it a bit. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show.
Hello. Wow, it's Friday. Time to bring on the weekend. I come to you with not much energy tonight. Most people wouldn't tell you that. Most people wouldn't tell you at the top of their show that they're probably not going to be so great for the night. But hey, I'm honest with you. I got to say, though, I'm a little concerned because I think I may have gotten on Breaking Brett Jensen's bad side. Because, you know, I joke around a lot, and as my wife says, people don't know how to take you. I said that that I wanted Brett Jensen to only refer to me from now on as America's Coolest Conservative, TJ Ritchie. And since I said that, he hasn't said my name at all in any way. To say the TJ Ritchie Show is coming up next, he used to say that. But when I said I wanted him to, it should be mandated that he call me America's Coolest Conservative when he says my name, he has stopped saying my name at all, which is fine. It's fine. That's not what I was looking for anyway. I'm looking for the friendship. That's what I hope I haven't done anything to fracture the friendship. So, I don't know. Don't want to come in here upsetting people, trying to fit in as the new guy. And as I've said many times, I realize I am the lowest on the low of the totem pole in the entire company. But and while I recognize that, I recognize that I am very disposable in the minds of the other hosts. And I just don't want to be that. So we'll see. Okay. There's a lot going on, and people all over the country talking about this New York mayor situation, the New York mayor's race, where that America hating, white people hating, Jew hating communist named Zoran, that's what I'll pronounce it as, Zoran, Mamdani, has won the Democrat primary. Now, I don't think people realize just how serious this is and what a reflection it could be on the rest of the country. And I've seen, a lot of people talking about his ideas that are just straight communism of having government-controlled grocery stores and rent control and government money going to transgender surgeries for children and, things like saying New Yorkers all deserve to live I don't know how he put it, but a distinguished life or something like that. So, everybody talks about that's communism. That's never going to work. That's, it's only in New York. So what do we care? But this goes back to what I was saying, last week about the media being such a huge problem in the United States, because when he goes on these programs and he says all of this stuff where they're referring to him as a democratic socialist, which that's what they call Bernie and AOC and all of them. But I mean, I don't buy into that. This is a communist. This is a racist, anti-Semitic communist who supports terrorists and the like. But I want these people on these shows, when they're interviewing him, or Bernie, or any of them, to just one time say, okay, where is there a better situation for its people? Where has a country prospered even an eighth of the amount that the United States has, that is a socialist or a Marxist way of life, way of government? Where? Well, and I know they'll say, well, it's just never been tried the right way. There's a right way to do it. We would do the right way here. But what happens is that the people always get poor. It spreads equality in finance and in income, but it's not bringing the low up. It's bringing the high down. So everybody is equally miserable. And this guy in New York, this Mamdani, is he grew up super wealthy. We talked about that last night. He's got plenty of money. He's got, it's always these people who come out with all these ideas about helping the poor, who are insulated from being poor because they have so much money and they know they don't have to worry about losing theirs if they're in charge. The same way all the people who will say defund the police have their own security that they can pay for, that follow them around, that keep them from getting robbed and beaten and killed and all of that stuff. So it's always easy to talk about what everybody else needs to do that you're not going to have to live by. And I just think this guy is, not only do I think he's stupid, but I think he's rotten to the core. I think he is just a rotten person and is full of hate and seeks revenge on people that have never done anything to him. His mama is a wacko movie maker. His dad's a wacko professor. And they raised a complete and total derelict. But the people are fooled. The Democrats are fooled. The white liberals are the ones who think that they're doing something so moral by voting for the man who wants to bring down the man, not realizing that they're so dumb that he's going to be coming for them. So bad news will be if Cuomo decides to stay in the race as an independent or something, because he'll just split the other votes, and then this other guy will for sure be elected. And then, the main part that I'm worried about is there are two. The banking industry in New York and all of the financial institutions, and it just the fact that New York is the biggest financial city in the world. And the other is other cities around the country breaking out in the same style. I saw a video from Paris today from a music festival, and there wasn't a single person from Paris in these thousands and thousands of people that were out there at this music festival. I mean, not a single French person. So Europe has allowed a lot of their cities and all to be taken over by hostile people from other countries who not only do they not want to assimilate, they want to tear it apart. And we've got to get a handle on that. Because if we don't, our kids and grandkids won't know what it's like to live in the United States of freedom and liberty. And you can't be afraid for these evil people in the Marxist movement to call you names and all of the other stuff. Because, I mean, the way I look at it is it's either do or die for the country in the way that it was founded and has been operated and for since its beginning. Okay. We're going to have some fun in a little bit. If I can get a Red Bull or something in me. All right. We got more coming up. Hang on.
More of the TJ Ritchie Show is coming up.
There is a great site we have found for golfers called pinsandaces.com. Pins and Aces is a Colorado-based golf brand making premium polos, head covers, and gear that perform on the course and stand out everywhere else. Made in the USA with quality you can feel. Go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 21% off using code GANG. Or go to pinsandaces.com.
Hey, it's TJ, and the TJ Ritchie Show will be a multi-touch marketing option for all the cool businesses in town. I have no idea what that means. That was written by our business department, obviously, for me to read. If you're a cool business, I guess you know what it means. So go to tjritchie.com and find out more.
He's radio royalty in the Carolinas and Queen Charlotte's sweetest prince. It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
All right. We are looking at Fox News up on the TV here, and they're interviewing Curtis Sliwa. Curtis Sliwa is running for mayor. He runs for mayor a lot in New York, and he wears a red beret all the time. And I told the young fellas in here why he's wearing that red beret is because he was the creator, the founder of the Guardian Angels in New York. So, I don't know, maybe if he can get enough money donated to him from all of these big, financial people in New York, he can put a good campaign together and beat that Marxist, America hating, white people hating, Zohan or whatever his name is, Mamdani. So we'll see. Now, it's raining in Charlotte. It seems like it's raining every night when I come in here or something. And I said at the beginning of the show, at the top of the show, that I wasn't very energetic. Lonnie, they've been wearing him out today up here, working him too hard. He's not his usual bubbly self.
Hey, I'm here with you, man.
Yeah. So maybe we can pep things up a little bit if we play a little game. This just hit me, and I haven't. And it may be too on the fly, Lonnie. You may need more time to do this. But if we can't do it on the fly, then it would kind of defeat the purpose. So we'll move on to something else. But do you have access to the music computer over there? So there are all kinds of different types of songs in there from different genres and everything, right? So what if, to get the energy level up, I did some singer impressions? There are a couple of singers that I can sing like and do impressions of. And I think if we do that, would that lighten up the room a little bit?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, we can try it. Okay. Let's see. Is there I Want Her by Keith Sweat in the computer? And I swear this was not, I just thought of this coming back on the air. Lonnie didn't know I was going to do it.
We can get it for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't need you to run to Target or anything, Andrew. He said we could get it. Okay, you got it? Okay, let me see if I can still do it. Okay, go ahead, hit it. Push it on up. Let's see. Yeah, this is a news talk show. My eyes. Here we go. See you last night, saw you standing there. Couldn't picture the color of your hair. And all I wanted to know, were you really there? What? I wanna know, was my imagination? Ooh, you know it was a sweet sensation. Looking at you from a distance, ooh, it seems so real. You and I together, dream seems for real. If it's a dream, please don't wake me up. It feels so good, all I know is I want that day back. Get it. Okay. That's good. And once I get it, ain't no turning back. How are we feeling better now?
We're feeling very good.
Okay, well, as long as we're on it. Do you have James Taylor, Whenever I See Your Smiling Face?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one.
So I can go from kind of one extreme to the other, you know. By the way, this could be my last night on the show. Oh, there we go. Go on up with it. Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself because I love you. Yes, I do. And when you give me that pretty little pout, it turns me inside out. There's something about you, baby, I don't know. Isn't it amazing a man like me can feel this way? Tell me how much longer it would grow stronger every day. Oh, how much longer? I thought I was in love a couple of times before with the girl next door, but that was long before I met you. Now I'm sure that I won't forget you, and I thank my lucky stars that you are who you are, and not just another lovely lady sent down to break my heart. Isn't it amazing a man like me? What?
You hit that note pretty good, man. I saw it, and you closed your eyes with it too, man.
I was feeling it, man.
Yeah, I know you was feeling it, man.
I'm not gonna lie, you did better, way better than I ever would have done singing that at a karaoke bar.
Well,
hands down.
Thank you. But I don't know if that's a big compliment or not. I never heard you sing at a karaoke bar. Do you sing it at karaoke bars?
I'm not great at singing.
Okay.
I'll admit it. You know, I'm decent, but I'm not like over the top spectacular.
Yeah.
Me? I'm gonna sing in the car, shower, keep it to myself. What's my man off of American Idol said? Can you hear yourself? Can you actually hear? I can hear myself, so I just stick to the car. You know. Mm-hmm.
That's cool though. All right, I do feel a little better letting that out. You know, just having some fun. Wake up a little bit. Hey, we can also do this because it's not that I don't have material planned. I do, but it's all, you know, it's like, it's a want, you know, politics and communists and, you know, all of that stuff, which is what I'm here to talk about. I get that. But, you know, I'm always going to be honest with you because, you know, you 11 listeners, you're, you know, like I say, you're my radio family. We're going to be honest with each other. So here, we'll keep this going throughout the show because I don't know how many people will participate, but it's a game called Ask Me Anything. So here's the way it works. You call 704-570-1110, 704-570-1110 at any point during the show, and I'll keep reminding, and ask me anything you want to ask me, whether it's my opinion on a news situation or whether it's something personal, whatever you want to know. If you want to know dirt on some of the other hosts here, you can ask me that. But I will get 3 chances to deny a question. Like I say, okay, I'm not answering that. I'll get 3. And then after that, if I've used up all my 3, then I have to answer whatever. Okay. And I don't know. You want to bet? Let's see. Is anybody going to call? Lonnie, you think anybody will call?
I think so. If you tell them anything, they can just discuss anything. Yeah, they might call. Pretty sure.
You, Andrew, you think?
Oh, they'll listen to you, TJ.
Okay.
They always do.
All right, I vote no. I don't think anybody's going to call because, first of all, I don't think anybody would value my opinion on very much, and the other is because they're wasted on alcohol and marijuana on Friday nights. They're just too far gone. We'll blame it on that. Is what we'll do. If nobody calls, we'll just blame it on the fact that they're just high out of their minds. All 11 of them. All right, so we'll see what we get next. Hang on.
The TJ Ritchie Show.
Hey, it's TJ, and the TJ Ritchie Show will be a multi-touch marketing option for all the cool businesses in town. I have no idea what that means. That was written by our business department, obviously, for me to read. If you're a cool business, I guess you know what it means. So go to tjritchie.com and find out more.
He's America's coolest conservative. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Hey, Lonnie.
Yeah.
I just caught a glimpse of myself in the monitor where I'm doing video stuff.
Yeah.
And, I'm wearing a black T-shirt and a solid black hat, cap. And I looked up and I said, I look like a white member of Jodeci. Don't look at
it. So you having my baby.
Come and talk to me, my baby. I wanna meet you. Okay, so we're playing a game. Playing a game called Ask Me Anything. Whatever you want to know. It could be something about the world. It could be something about me personally, whatever. You want to know something about Beth Troutman? Behind the scenes stuff. I could tell you that. Whatever. All right. So, let's see. We'll start here. And this is taking a chance, I think here. Hey, Chris.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
But doing well.
Great.
Kind of nervous, but I'm doing well.
Oh, you're gonna be great. Don't be nervous.
I haven't spoken to you since the first night, so I'm glad to be here tonight.
Oh, well, good. I'm
glad.
But
my question is, whatever happened to that money?
That money that I should have spent for singing lessons?
The money your mom gave you for singing lessons. As a matter of fact, yeah, you've heard that before.
Yeah, because when you can't sing very well and then you do it, then people they always ask me that.
Well, somebody pulled that on me a couple of times, and I just had to it made me laugh. Okay. And I just had to spread the love.
Well, now I know why the phone screener said you wouldn't tell him what the question was ahead of time. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good night. I'm glad you're on the air, man. I listen to you quite often.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too. All right, that's fun. Okay, let's see. Hey, Max.
Yes.
Hey, what's your question, buddy?
Do you like doing news talk radio better than Top 40?
Well, it's hard to say, and I'm not trying to not answer the question because I just started the news talk stuff, and I've done Top 40 radio my entire career, like over 30 years. And there have been times in that 30 something years that I have been beyond happy and felt so blessed and thought that I could never have imagined being blessed as much as I was, at certain times. And then there are other times when it's painful as well. You go through ups and downs, and I still do Top 40, a Top 40 morning show every day. It's syndicated on other radio stations outside of Charlotte. But as of what I'm doing here is, I don't think I could be enjoying it any more than I do. The only thing that I don't enjoy about it is the traffic, having to come into the big, dangerous, liberal city every night during a bad traffic time. Other than that, I love doing the show. And last night, when the show was over, I looked at Lonnie and I said, man, it seems like we just started. It went by so quickly. And I love the show part of it. So right now it's a toss-up, to be honest. But this is, I think, this is my future, because I'm already pushing it for an age to be on Top 40 radio. I've even passed Unk stage, as Lonnie told me the other night. I'm into the Papaw stage, I guess. But I really appreciate it. Thanks, Max. Sorry. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Hey, Chantel.
Hey, what's happening, TJ?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, man, I got to tell you, our family loves your show. We have dinner with TJ every night.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
My question is,
okay,
besides Felicia, who would you elect for the next president?
Okay, so I got to pick somebody other than the love of my life, which is Congresswoman Jazzy Felicia Crockett. Okay. I guess it would be Ron DeSantis.
Really?
Yeah. I've always been a huge Ron DeSantis fan. I think he's the type of conservative that I am. And I just absolutely admire him and the work he's done and what he does for Florida and how he's fearless and that whole thing. I think he's great.
All right. He's a good choice. He does look like Lord Frogwall, though.
I've seen him in person. He's very handsome.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen him in his old Navy SEAL officer's uniform? You know those pictures of him?
Did he have high heels?
Oh, no. Well, he may have. I don't know. But see, I'm short. I can't pick on any guy for being short.
Oh, so am I. That's why I'm going there. I love you.
Thank you very much, Chantel. And have y'all already eaten dinner tonight?
We sure did.
Okay, what'd y'all have?
Well, we had leftovers because we're going to the grocery store. So
and it's Friday. You got to eat leftovers on Friday.
Yeah, we switched it to the app because we didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to hear TJ, and it doesn't come in the car. So.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Thank you very much. Tell the family I said hey and thanks. Okay.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Bye. Oh, and it's ladies' night. I forgot to tell her thanks for calling on ladies' night. Let's see. Oh man, there's a lot of ladies on the board up here. Okay, let's just go ahead and go with this one. Hey, Karen.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Well, I want to know when you're going to have your own TLC show, which called Sister Wives, between your wife and your girlfriend Jasmine.
Oh man, I think that would be more along the lines of one of those Real Housewives shows because they'd be fighting all the time. As a matter of fact, I was thinking today, I was watching some footage from these congressional hearings, and Carrie Lake was testifying, and then that Jayapal woman, that just terrible, witch of a woman, was questioning her, and they were going back and forth, and I thought, this doesn't even seem like a congressional hearing. This seems like Andy Cohen ought to be sitting between them on a stage.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Going after each other. But yeah, I think that would probably be a combo of the two, Real Housewives and Sister Wives.
Cool.
But I actually think my wife could take her, though. If they
I'm sure she could.
If they started fighting over their man, which would be me.
I think your wife would win.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Karen. I appreciate you calling.
You're welcome. Thanks, TJ. Have a great night.
You too. Look at that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what this is about. This may be one that I decide not to answer. Kim.
Hi, TJ.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I know. Okay, so I don't get to listen to you all the time, but this week I've been able to listen to you, and my stomach hurts from laughing.
Oh, thank you.
Because I don't think there's a lot of listeners that really understand your sense of humor. I almost called last night, but the reason I was calling was to ask for your wife's therapist name so I could refer my husband to her. Because I'd be willing to bet he cringes every time I open my mouth. But I just truly...
So you got to figure that my personality and your personality are alike. So my wife must be in some kind of therapy that your husband needs. So.
I know, right? Yeah. I just listening to you last night, I laughed so hard, and I made it a point to stay up tonight. So,
well, thank you.
So glad you're here.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, we got to take a break, but we got more calls, as they say, on the board. So we'll get to those, and then maybe one of them will lead into what I want to talk about in the next serious segment. See how this works out? You just throw a little bit of a curve into the whole situation, and then new things sprout. If it wouldn't have been for those singer impersonations, we'd still be sitting here going blah blah blah, communist, blah blah, Bernie, blah, But it would have been my fault. So, all right. So what's coming up next? We don't know. That's the beauty of Friday night. So hang on.
It's TJ Ritchie.
There is a great site we have found for golfers called pinsandaces.com. Pins and Aces is a Colorado-based golf brand making premium polos, head covers, and gear that perform on the course and stand out everywhere else. Made in the USA with quality you can feel. Go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 21% off using code GANG. Or go to pinsandaces.com. I have found the best Father's Day gift site, DistillUnion.com. Distill Union crafts sleek, problem-solving essentials like Wally wallets and Ferris key organizers, designed with a less is more philosophy. Their durable, intuitive products simplify everyday routines with style. So go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 20% off using code GANG, or head to DistillUnion.com.
Podcasts, and cool social media content. Get all the TJ you can handle at WBT.com/TJ. Now, back to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
This is a fun Friday. We'll start calling it that. Fun Friday for you. In the Queen City. Good evening, everybody. It sounds better in a big, cheesy DJ voice when you're on in the afternoon and you can say, good afternoon, everybody. It's Shuddy and Chevity Chevin. With every S, there's an H. Plenty of sunshine on tap for today. Highs around 77, so it'll be Shuddy and Chevity Chevin. Got that Kendrick Lamar coming up for you. What a hot track that is. Okay, we are doing Ask Me Anything, and Carson has been holding for a while. Hey, Carson.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you got a serious question, right?
Yeah, more along those lines.
Okay.
I'm just here with my dad, Scott, and he's a huge listener of yours, and we argue back and forth all the time about, politics and things like that. So I just had a big question about Iran and Israel. What your thoughts are on what the president did there and the strikes and all that?
I think it had to have been done, and I don't understand the mindset of people in the United States who look and say, okay, well, Iran, who are we to tell them they can't have nuclear weapons or they can't enrich uranium for electricity and things like that? When the proof from the past is all over the place of how Iran is responsible for so many American deaths, whether it's directly or by proxy, and that they refer to us as the great Satan, and they actually hate us more than they do Israel. And if they had nuclear weapons that could reach our shores, they would fire them off as soon as they, like the next day that they got developed. But I also don't think that President Trump went far enough. I want the leaders of Iran taken out. And then, I'm sure that's what people call a war hawk or warmonger or whatever, but they've lied to us. They've lied to Israel. They've lied to the world so much. You can't trust them. I don't trust a ceasefire. I don't trust them to do anything that they say. And the people of Iran, the citizens, are basically being held prisoner, and they want to be liberated from these people. Now, I'm not saying I think we ought to go in there on the ground and take them out and then replace them with somebody that we pick and all that. I just think get rid of these that have been running it for so long, and then the Iranian people can figure it out after that. Then we keep an eye on him, and if we have to do the same thing to him in 20 years, we do it.
Right. So the context is I'm only 19 years old.
Yeah. Wow, you sound 40. You do. You sound really old. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No. You sound, that's great that you're 19.
So I haven't lived through any of the major wars in the United States' history. All I know is that right before I was born, around 2001, and even after the war on terror and all that stuff like that, George W. Bush, the weapons of mass destruction in Iran, things like that. I hear that and I think, man, I really just do not want my generation and my children's generation to have to go through another war on terror, as disastrous as it was for Americans.
Yeah.
And I feel like I value peace more than anything, just because I feel like things are agitated in the Middle East as a way to make money by the military-industrial complex, if you get what I'm saying with that.
Yeah, I get it. I disagree with it, but I get it. But you think about this. If Iran has nuclear weapons, they'll be the opposite of peace, because they don't have them just as a deterrent or a self-defense. They would have them as aggressors. And and I get what you're talking about, but the problem, I think, has been in our history, well, since World War II. Whenever we jump into a war or a conflict, we tiptoe around it and we don't just get the business done and get out. We could go in and destroy people and be out, and they wouldn't mess with us anymore, and it would stop everything about a war. But we have to say, oh well, we got to go through this, and we got people in the United States who, causing all kinds of uprisings and everything, saying that we're the bad guy. We got too many people in America that think our military and our way of life is the enemy. Like we're the bad guys in the world when we're not. We feed the world.
Yeah. And as I've, had the situation develop and stuff like that, initially, whenever I heard about the strike, I was very upset because, and I definitely think the Democrats have taken it way too far when it comes to their criticisms of Trump.
Yeah.
Trump could do anything and he'll get criticized by the Democrats. That's just a fact. And I feel like, now I'm thinking about it, I do think the strikes were more necessary than people are giving him credit for. I was upset at the time because I voted for Trump on, he kept us out of war. There was no wars during his term.
Yeah.
And I felt like it resonated very strongly with me. So I guess...
But he did run on Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. He said that the whole time. Yeah, but I'm sorry, what was the rest of what you were saying?
So, if you wouldn't mind me asking, who do you think after Trump leaves would be best suited for handling a situation like this continuing? Because I'm assuming this will continue to be a problem even after Trump is gone.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis?
Yeah. And I want to ask you something. Do you go to college, Carson?
I do, yes.
Okay. Where do you go, if you don't mind me asking?
I go to a very small community college in North Carolina.
All right. So do they try to indoctrinate you and stuff? Are all your professors and everything liberal, Marxists and all?
Absolutely. I mean, my history teacher was a full-blown Marxist.
Right. Yeah, that's a shame. I would suggest you quit college. No, I'm kidding. I don't want your dad to stop being a fan of mine, telling you to quit. I'm just joking. But Chris, it's been really good talking to you. You sound like a very level-headed young man and open to learning things, and you already know a lot of stuff that you don't even need to learn because you already know it. You sound like a good guy.
Yeah, you have a great day. It was great listening to your show, and my dad will keep listening to your show, I'm sure.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris. Tell him I said thanks too.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too. He did sound older than 19, though, didn't he? Man. So that was really good to have a 19-year-old in today's world that will admit that his professors are wacko communists, and then actually just be open to a conversation and not screaming, yelling, and just emotional and all that. He's a good guy. Carson, let's remember him. Okay. So anybody got anything else that you want to ask? It's, we got the rest of the show. Call it anytime. We'll just, what do they call it? Audible, maybe, whatever we got going on. And if you got a good question, 704-570-1110. 704-570-1110. So we've been doing this thing called TJ on the News, and we usually do it right at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, but I don't know whether we're going to do that tonight or not. We may back it up a little bit, because it's so good. We want to give everybody an opportunity to hear it. Not really. What, man? What? So let's see what else. We got just a couple of minutes here that I can just throw out for a second. That alligator Alcatraz. This is one. There were two people that asked about what I think of who I think would be a great president, and I said Ron DeSantis, and it's because of stuff like this, the alligator Alcatraz, where Ron DeSantis has this kind of like an island out in the Everglades, and he's putting up housing and bathrooms and all of that kind of stuff to put illegal aliens who have been detained. It's going to be an illegal alien detention center, and there will be alligators circling it at all times. So I just think that's cool. I think that's so cool. And they were asking, wait, how did you get all of this stuff so quickly? What is it? And he basically had the idea, we got all of this shelter that has to go up immediately when we have natural disasters, hurricanes and stuff. Let's just use it to go out there for housing for the ICE detention center. And the liberals, obviously, are just going nuts. And I love trolling the liberals. And they're just, I saw some videos where they're just screaming into their cameras about this alligator Alcatraz. See, we need more people who will just laugh in the face of idiocy like that. Do what's best, do what's right, do what's legal, and then stop letting these morons soften things. Don't soften it on their account. All right.
more of the TJ.
Hey, it's TJ, and yes, my new political show is on. It's every weeknight from 7 until 9 on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT. So go ahead and add TJ Ritchie to your home screen on the phone and download the WBT app.
News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT proudly presents America's coolest conservative. Well, proudly could be stretching it a bit. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show.
One of the things that bothers me most about living in a liberal world is the constant attack on the traditional American family and the constant attack on masculinity. You know, we were talking about this last night, that America does have a distinctive culture. Everybody says we don't have a culture because we're made up of all these other cultures. We're a country of immigrants, but America has a culture. And everybody knows what it is. And when people come into the country who are not interested in being part of that culture and they want to continue to live the culture that they lived in another country, it's not good. America didn't become the greatest nation in the history of the world by not being America. I think the political scientists call that duh. I believe that is the scientific term for it. So when I see stories like this that are written as, just human interest kind of stories, I always like to point out how it's deeper than just a little human interest story. I had this last night, but I didn't get to it because we were riffing and railing on so many things. I just ran out of time. I only got 2 hours here. They don't give me nothing but 2 hours. They don't give me but 2 hours. They don't let me promote station events because they're scared I'll screw that up. They don't pay me. I don't have a parking spot. I got to park down the street at Pinky's and walk all the way up here about a mile. But anyway. So they're practicing gender equality, they call it, in naming. Now, what the story is it is a wedding with a man and a woman. It's funny you have to say that. No, I get it. Man and a woman getting married, and then they do rock, paper, scissors when they're pronounced man and wife to determine whose last name they're going to go with. You heard me, Lonnie?
Man, that's crazy.
But this is happening more and more where women are saying, why should I give up my last name just because we're getting married? And I'm not talking about women who continue going by their maiden names. I'm talking about the husband changing his name to her name. Now, could there be a bigger American custom that they're blowing up than that? I can't think of one, really. But it's not just in these situations where, I've heard of men who get married and they had horrible families growing up and don't care to be, carrying around their family name. So they'll go with the wife's family name. But I don't like that so many people fall for this. You have these these Marxist leaders, so to speak, who try to lead the culture, and they get these useful idiots to carry the water for them, who think that they're just improving things in America by changing all of this stuff, whether it be the traditions of marriage or taking the husband's last name in marriage, or whether it be who says that you should have to work to make yourself the best you could be, or why should this person have this much money? It's not fair. Sure, he's a billionaire. He won't miss another whatever percent of his money. Like that crazy guy that's running for mayor in New York. That terrorist supporter and racist that's running for mayor in New York. He's going to put a wealth tax on the highest income earners in New York City. Now, that doesn't mean taxes. That just means regular taxes. They got to pay the regular taxes, and then he's just going to pay. You make enough money that we're just going to take 2% of your money. And they always say, well, that's a rounding error. That's just a rounding error. Okay. But you're being a thief. You didn't earn that money. That's that person's money. Remember, if you go into your pocket and give money to someone who needs it, that's noble. If you go into somebody else's pocket to give money to somebody who needs it, it's criminal. So what happens is you get all of this stuff. It's just like flood the culture with all of these things, because, America is the worst. America needs to be brought down to size. American arrogance. But America, hands down, is the best. And I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but America is the best country that has ever existed when it comes to prosperity of its people, when it comes to living with your spirit being free. I mean, it's second to none. So these communists and Marxists who want to tear down America and American traditions, they do it in so many different ways at one time. I hate to say this, but the devil can make himself the most beautiful person that you've ever seen. And while he's sweet talking you, he's stealing your soul. These Marxists are like that. These professional Democrats are like that. They present themselves to be so caring and so kind and so much more moral and have moral authority over the mean Republicans and so forth and so on. And people are like, oh, yeah, that is so sweet. That's so sweet. You're going to take her last name. Or either they anger people and they go, why should I have to give up my last name when I get married? And blah, blah. And then a lot of it comes from, people not, going and being around the Lord anymore as much. And that's because of Marxism as well. The tearing down of our faith. Well, Christian faith and Jewish faith. They tear those down. All the rest of them are elevated to the professional Democrat. So all I'm saying is don't invite me to a wedding where the husband's going to be taking the last name of the wife. I don't even want to go eat the chicken at the reception. I don't want to be any part of that. Because I know a lot of you were getting ready to invite me to some weddings. So I'm just putting it out there. If you want some star power at your wedding, don't be taking the woman's last name or I won't be there. Okay. I think we may have TJ on the news coming up next. We're going to do it. Hang on.
Ritchie Show.
There is a great site we have found for golfers called pinsandaces.com. Pins and Aces is a Colorado-based golf brand making premium polos, head covers, and gear that perform on the course and stand out everywhere else. Made in the USA with quality you can feel. Go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 21% off using code GANG. Or go to pinsandaces.com.
Identifying liberalism and mocking it relentlessly. This is the TJ Ritchie Show. On News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
See, I need to learn to speak all intelligently like Pete Callender does. I mean, he really sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's got all the people fooled. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I'm just kidding. He's great. Blah, blah. Yeah, well, Pete Callender's great. All right. There's a very nice fella named Gavin that brought me a Red Bull. Look at that. Heard me saying that I was tired, needed a little boost. And did I say I wanted a Red Bull? I think so. And then he brought a Red Bull up here. Brought several of them. So I wish I could have met him. I'd probably still be out in the parking lot drinking Red Bull with him if I had, though. All right, so let's get into the news.
Live from the big city of Charlotte, North Carolina, it's TJ on the news.
Thank you very much, Gavin. Appreciate it, buddy. So here we are, the stories around the world that are the most important, that you can't live your life without this information. Lead story. So it's always frustrating when a bad apple cop commits a crime while on duty. But this one is extremely bold. A 28-year-old Florida deputy named Justin Register from the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Now, Polk County Sheriff's Office is special to me because their sheriff is a big celebrity. Yeah, I know you've seen him on press conferences and stuff. I mean, he's so plain spoken, and he will tell criminals right away that, you know, before the guy came along the other day that said you're going to be graveyard dead if you do this and this and this. Before him, there's Sheriff Grady Judd, and he was the original of that. He's really good. But anyway, this this deputy resigned Wednesday after he was caught stealing cash during a traffic stop. He had arrested a driver for not having a valid license. He took the guy's wallet and phone and put it in his patrol car trunk for whatever reason. Two other cops showed up, saw Register returning to the car's trunk multiple times. Eventually, Register returned the driver's belongings, but the driver said he was missing $300 in cash. Hey, where's my cash? I had $300 in there. So everybody started looking for it, and that's when Register went back to the trunk, opened a rifle bag, pulled out some folded up cash, and said, "Oh, here it is." How'd it get in there? Huh. So it was obvious enough that the other cops immediately reported it to their supervisor. In a statement, Sheriff Grady Judd said, quote, "It makes me so angry I could chew the bark off of oak trees because he betrayed the community's trust. That's why he's not a law enforcement officer right now." So Register was arrested for theft, and the sheriff says he would have been fired if he hadn't have resigned. And the department also said that all of the cops' previous arrests and traffic stops are being audited. Ooh. Like, how many times has he done that sort of thing? But I hope he didn't have aspirations of being a detective, because he has no idea how to hide something. You know, a detective has to sometimes be a little bit shifty and play a part to get the answers that they want and stuff. He's just like, Oh, wait, here it is. Here's the cash in this rifle bag. How lucky we found it. All right, next story. Hey, you can now get paid $35 for your number 2 in Japan. Now, when I say number 2, I don't mean your second born. I mean they're paying for poop is what I'm saying. But only if it is good enough. Because it's a pharmaceutical company that's researching gut bacteria. And they say only 5% to 10% of people have waste that's high enough quality for their purpose. Oh, look at you. You think you're so much better than me. Oh, because you've got, yours is worth something. I guess the rest of ours can just go flush down the drain, huh? $35. I wonder if that's like per time you go, or do they give you like, is it like when you get ice cream and you put it up on the scale, and then if you want to go back and get some Reese's Pieces put on it, it's going to cost more or way more? Is that they pay you for the ounce? I don't know. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Next story.
I hurt myself today to
Again,
see if I
the fun
still
of this is
feel
trying to figure out where the song ties in with the story.
on the
It's pretty obvious here. Chemists in Scotland managed to turn plastic into Tylenol. Most people don't know this, but Tylenol is made using chemicals pulled from oil, and plastic is also made of oil, so that's how it's possible. And again, I've been telling you that's why you hear this war on plastic all the time. Microplastics. Plastic's bad. Plastic. It's because it's made from oil, and it's a way for them to try to demonize oil again. See? I told you, these are just the stories that matter. All the rest of that stuff about Iran and all that doesn't matter. This matters. And we will even work in a show business story here.
I'm living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like
The new Golden Bachelor is 66-year-old Mel Owens. He's a lawyer and former linebacker for the Los Angeles Rams. He also might be kind of a jerk. Just depends on how you look at it. I think he kind of makes sense here. He's a little bit crass. But he said in a recent interview, talking about what he's looking for in a potential mate. Well, if you don't know what the Golden Bachelor is, it's that dating show, The Bachelor, but they do it with older people. Like he's in his 60s. And he said, I told the producers 45 to 60, just being honest. If they're 60 or over, I'm cutting them. He said, this is not the Silver Bachelor. This is the Golden Bachelor. I don't know what that means. But then he says, they got to be fit because I stay in shape and work out and stuff. And I told them to try to stay away from the artificial hips and the wigs. So he technically has no say in who the producers choose. But he said that they did tell him that, quote, they're going to be hot. Don't worry about it. I don't want any artificial hips or wigs. I want them to be hot, and if they're if I'm only 6 years older than they are, cut them. He's 66. He doesn't want anybody over 60. That might end up being some fireworks when the ladies start getting a load of him. It'd be funny if the older women on the Golden Bachelor got in like Jerry Springer style fist fights and stuff. Be a shame. That would be a shame. But look, everybody thinks it's so sweet, these old people getting together and all that stuff. It's still trash TV. They're still trashy. I'm just telling you. My wife liked the Golden Bat. She used to watch the other one, but she said they got too young for her. She didn't get too old for it. They got too young for her, is what she said. Because everything's amazing and on my journey, and I can't believe he said that. And they all talk in this uptone like this. And we went out on our date, and he was like, I want you to meet my parents. That's the way every woman under 40 speaks. That's what I told him. I went to the store today, and I got some kombucha. And I drank it. We got some drinks. We drunk them. Okay, that is it for TJ on the news.
It's TJ Ritchie.
Hey, it's TJ, and the TJ Ritchie Show will be a multi-touch marketing option for all the cool businesses in town. I have no idea what that means. That was written by our business department, obviously, for me to read. If you're a cool business, I guess you know what it means. So go to tjritchie.com and find out more.
Late, live, and local. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
That's right. Late, live, and local with Unc. I'm Unc in here to these young fellas. So that's better. I thought when I brought that up the other night, Lonnie was telling me that he's Unc age, and then I would be older than that, and I was kind of depressed. But then he went and did some research, and I'm Unc age, and he's what?
So they say that I'm big bro.
Okay.
And you would be Unc, and then after that can be considered old school.
Okay, that's right. So I got a little bit more Unc stage, and then I'll get into old school. All right. I ain't mad at him. Hey. So let's see. Hey, Dave from I thought it said Warsaw, but it says Waxhaw. I'm sorry. It's like, wow, that's a long distance call.
Not quite, brother.
Yeah.
TJ, I'm from Bastrop, Louisiana, partner.
Well, God bless you from God's country of northeastern Louisiana.
There you are. There you are, man. Where did you say you're from? When was it? I heard it last week.
Winfield.
Winsboro?
Winfield. Yeah.
Winfield, okay.
It's about an hour straight north of Alexandria and an hour straight south of Ruston.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I got family still in Ruston, and it is a wonderful part of the country. It's we've got so many rich people in that part of the country.
Yeah. Well, I always have to tell people, because when you meet somebody who's never been to Louisiana and you say, I'm from Louisiana, then they'll go, oh, yeah, I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. And then you have to tell them, it's 3 different worlds of Louisiana. And, but I used to say, I'm from the part of the state where Terry Bradshaw is from,
Yeah.
And then the Duck Dynasty people came along, and I said, I'm from the area where the Duck Dynasty people are.
There you are.
So give it a little bit better perspective and all that. But
hey man, you had some big time stuff getting to meet a priest the other day. You were saying last week, I think, when I was listening to you.
I was. I did. Mr. Winterbull had him in here, and I'd never met a priest in person.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you here in the area, and we need more good people from Northeast Louisiana. I hope you're enjoying it. There's a bunch of good folks there at WBT.
Yeah.
I'm kind of partial to David Chadwick, if you've had the privilege of meeting him.
I saw him in the parking lot one day, and he handed me $1 because I guess he thought I was homeless. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, he's a fine man.
Yeah.
We're just blessed to know him. And
I've listened to him for years.
You're with a great group there, man.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you calling. Nice to meet you,
God
Dave.
bless you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, same to you. All right. Louisiana people calling up in here. Awesome. That is awesome. Okay. With the illegal alien situation still going on, the white liberals continue to make fools of themselves. I mean, day after day after day. You know, these are the ones that tell everybody else how racist they are if they don't do A, B, and C. They're the ones that stand on their big platforms and they point at everybody else and they say, "You can't be as moral as I am." They're gaining moral authority every day. So, the first one that I want to give you the example of is this the one about the nanny? Okay, this is what a woman is telling people that they need to do to help the illegal aliens who are having to be afraid of ICE arresting them and deporting them. Listen.
Do you have a nanny or other household worker? You might be unsure how to help them right now as the ICE raids continue across LA. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty right now, so we spoke to domestic employer nonprofit Hand in Hand to get you some answers. First off, know your rights. Remember that ICE cannot enter your home without a warrant signed by a judge unless you give them permission. And make sure your employees know their rights too. They have a right to remain silent and contact an attorney. Limit risk where you can. A lot of nannies are taking a big risk by going to work right now. Consider offering them paid leave. And if you can't, you might offer to accompany them to a bus stop or pay for a taxi to help them get to work safely. And don't forget, domestic workers are entitled to 5 days of paid sick leave. Be flexible. A nanny might not feel comfortable taking their usual trips to the park or the library with your child.
Right,
talk to them about what they need to feel safe.
I can't take any more of that. So all she's worried about is helping the rich people in L.A. keep their help. And she's also suggesting that they harbor fugitives. Right? Wouldn't that be what that's considered? You see, she's acting like she's a caring, giving person. But she's not really. Anybody can see that. Now, this was on MSNBC, one of the stupid panels there. This is what they think. This is what they always use as examples about how Republicans are going to regret enforcing immigration laws. This is how Republicans are going to regret it. Listen.
Paul, you first. I mean, because Molly mentions those people that are the farm workers, certainly of the ag industry that's being affected. You've got hospitality industry, going to a restaurant even. I mean, you may not have people being able to clear your place, move so quickly, the food being served. Yeah. The people aren't going to like that.
You see, what it boils down to is that liberals look at people and they put them into a group of what they imagine the group being and staying. You know, that's why they always refer to people like the professional Democrats will refer to people as the group to which they belong. You know, they'll say the black community, the Hispanic community, the LGBTQ plus community, the Asian community. They want everybody to be into their little community. So when you treat people as a member of a group, the group has to go along with it, where conservatives treat people as individuals, and conservatives want people to reach individual greatness. Democrats want to rob people of the desire to reach individual greatness. So these white liberals, these do-gooders, don't see the potential in someone who is Hispanic to be anything more than the person that clears your plate away at a restaurant, or to be your quote unquote domestic workers. But yet they're the ones who think that they have the moral high ground, the moral authority on this. I'm telling you, professional Democrats and these liberals, they don't have the right stuff in their hearts. And then you say, well, it's better than what you want. You want to just kick these people out. No, I want our country's laws to be abided by. I abide by the law. Why should anybody else just be allowed to break it? And then why do we get to pick and choose which laws that we allow people or encourage people or help people break? Where did that come from? As a matter of fact, I want people to come into this country as immigrants who do it the right way and who want to be Americans and live the American way. I think when that happens, that's one of the most beautiful things that our country has. When you see these newly the citizen, when they just get their citizenship or they pass that test and they get sworn as citizens of the United States, when you see them with that look of pride and the tear in their eyes, and they know that they've escaped some hell on earth that didn't allow them to be free enough to make the most that they could make of themselves. And they know right now I am an American, and they say it. It doesn't get much better than that.
More of the TJ Ritchie Show is coming up.
There is a great site we have found for golfers called pinsandaces.com. Pins and Aces is a Colorado-based golf brand making premium polos, head covers, and gear that perform on the course and stand out everywhere else. Made in the USA with quality you can feel. Go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 21% off using code GANG. Or go to pinsandaces.com.
Bringing the heat.
Oh, hot, hot, hot.
Whatever that means. This is the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
No, it ain't. Quit lying, big voice guy. This ain't no TJ Ritchie Show. Yes, it is. Man. Y'all ought to see how good I look on this video here. I'm practicing up. One day soon, it's going to be live on the YouTubes and all over the place. And you get to see how damn handsome I am. I don't even know if you'll be able to stand it. No, you won't. The big wedding has happened. And some good news and bad news. It's the wedding of Jeff Bezos and his fiancée, now wife, Lauren Sanchez. The good news is that unlike President Trump's inauguration, Lauren Sanchez didn't show up at her wedding with her boobs out. She was quite the talk in her white outfit with her huge boobs pushed to the moon out there for the world to see. Looked like one of those Renaissance Festival ladies. You know how they'll put them out there, for the time. But this is an article that is written by Jerome Hudson of Breitbart.com. He said, a throng of Hollywood celebrities who've spent years lecturing about the peril we all face from climate change hopped on private jets set for Venice, where Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's 3-day wedding extravaganza took place. A-listers like Leonardo DiCaprio, Mick Jagger, Orlando Bloom, and his ex-fiancée Katy Perry flocked to the picturesque floating city, while mega-wealthy stars many of whom on their own private jets, landed at Marco
Polo
Airport in the days leading up to the $50 million bash. Kim Kardashian, who spent years, quote unquote, fighting climate change, arrived in her $65 million Gulfstream G650. Business Insider reports. Oprah Winfrey, who once said, quote, the future of life as we know it depends on how we combat climate change. On top of that, I actually saw the end of an Oprah Winfrey show one time because I would never watch an Oprah Winfrey show from the beginning, and I was just trying to see what was coming on after Oprah Winfrey. And I saw the very last moment of the show, and she had Al Gore on there. And the last thing she said to him was, "Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for being our Noah." Little dramatic, Oprah, you think? Because, you know, Al Gore's warning us about the weather, you see, so he's Noah, according to Oprah. But anyway, she landed in her G700 earlier in the week with her, they didn't put this in quotes, but I'm going to, quote unquote, gal pal, Gayle King. Mm-hmm. Y'all know how Oprah and Gayle King became friends? They worked for the same TV station in Baltimore, and Gayle gave Oprah some draws. She did. Somehow Oprah had forgotten her panties or had messed them up some way or another. I don't know, but Oprah needed a pair of panties. And Gayle worked there and said, "Girl, I got some panties. You can have." I don't know whether she was wearing them and then gave them to Oprah, or she had an extra pair in her locker or something. But that's how they met and hit it off. Because Oprah said, if Gayle give anybody that'll share panties with you, you know, that's a friend. True story. Juggle it, you'll see. Let's see, who else? Hollywood mogul Ari Emanuel, who once lectured President Donald Trump about the dangers of climate change, was also in Venice, reportedly arriving on a Global 6000 owned by his investment firm Endeavor Group Holdings, or just his firm. I don't know what they do. The guest list comes to more than 200. Ursher was there, Tom Brady, Ivanka Trump. But the main thing is all these do-gooder environmentalist celebrities on their private jets flying all the way over there. I know there are commercial flights, you know, the carpooling of the skies they could have gotten on. But they chose to make that footprint. Look, everybody knows all that environmental craziness is just made up. It's not real. Buying carbon credits and all of that stuff. Look, you don't litter, you don't, pollute, recycle what you can. And, I don't even separate recyclables at my house. Somebody does that at the landfill place or wherever sanitation department. They do it. They're giving them a job. As a matter of fact, my wife's friend one time ran over her recycling can or thing that you put out by the road. And she was all freaked out about it. And my wife said, "You can have ours. We don't use it." Uh-huh. Yeah. So all that's just again, it's there. Just look at me. This is what everybody needs to be doing, but I'm not going to do it. They didn't say whether or not Leonardo DiCaprio took that 19-year-old girl. I guess he's still dating that 19-year-old. Something's wrong with him. There's something wrong with Leonardo DiCaprio. Up in his 40s, he may even be 50 now. I don't know, but never dating women over 21 or 22 or whatever the limit is for him. There's got to be something wrong with him where he's insecure around women that are closer to his age. You know, it can't just be a looks thing, because he could get really, really beautiful women who are, let's say, in their 30s even. But he never does. Guess he always has to have that, you know, where they think he's so smart and he can have more control over it and all that. I think somebody needs to get up in his head. I'll do it. I'll examine him. But then again, I don't really think I need to. I think I've already diagnosed his problem. And okra. Why are you doing that? Okra being a hypocrite. I think you could just throw a tent over that whole situation and charge admission. Does it look like a circus? They were having foam parties and stuff like that earlier on in the week. What year do they think it is? And how old do they think they are? They think they're 21. Back in 2005, when foam parties were a thing. Crazy.
Might want to check out a foam party.
They still do it now. I might go when I leave here. I'm full of Red Bull now. I'm ready to go, man. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. The great one, Mark Levin, is coming up next. We'll talk to you Monday. Remember, God loves you, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
There is a great site we have found for golfers called pinsandaces.com. Pins and Aces is a Colorado-based golf brand making premium polos, head covers, and gear that perform on the course and stand out everywhere else. Made in the USA with quality you can feel. Go to tjritchie.com/deals and get 21% off using code GANG. Or go to pinsandaces.com.
Hey, it's TJ, and the TJ Ritchie Show will be a multi-touch marketing option for all the cool businesses in town. I have no idea what that means. That was written by our business department, obviously, for me to read. If you're a cool business, I guess you know what it means. So go to tjritchie.com and find out more.